Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you could strum through a song called Wild World by Cat Stevens. And we're going to start off with kind of our intro progression on an A minor chord. And when you play A minor, first finger goes to the B string on the first fret, second finger on the D string on the second fret, and then third finger on the G string on the second fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an A minor chord, and it sounds really, really sad. And then from the A minor, we're going to be going to a D major chord. When we play D major, first finger goes to the G string on the second fret, second finger on the high E on the second fret, and then third finger on the B string on the third fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds a D major chord, and it sounds really happy. And then from the D major, we're going to be going to a G major chord. And when we play G major, first finger goes to the A string on the second fret, second finger on the low E string on the third fret, and third finger on the high E string on the third fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. And then from the G major, we're going to be going to a C major chord. When we play C major, first finger goes to the B string on the first fret, second finger on the D string on the second fret, and third finger on the A string on the third fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a C major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. And then from the C, we're going to be going to an F major chord. We're talking about a really easy way to play that. But if you know the bar F major, you do your first finger across the entire first fret, second finger on the G string, second fret, third finger on the A string, third fret, and the pinky on the D string on the third fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an F major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. Now a good substitute for that, though, is something called F major 7. When we play F major 7, first finger goes to the B string on the first fret, second finger on the G string, second fret, and third finger on the D string on the third fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds an F major 7. It sounds really, really happy. And then from the F major 7, we're going to be going to a D minor chord, so it's the sad D. And when you play D minor, first finger goes to the high E on the first fret, second finger on the G string, second fret, and then the third or the fourth finger on the B string on the third fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds a D minor chord, and it sounds really, really sad. And then from the D minor, we're going to be going to an E major chord. When we play E major, first finger goes to the G string on the second fret, second finger on the A string on the second fret, first finger on the G string first fret, second finger on the A string second, third finger on the D string second fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an E major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. And you'll hear this cool little lick actually around the E major where you can play the G string on the first fret 3 times, and then we go to second fret on the G, and then open B. So we got kind of E major, and then that 1, 1, 1, 2, and that's a lot of our verse actually is kind of that A minor, D major, G major, C major, F major, D minor, E major, lick. So you may want to kind of play around with that. Now a lot of times with a song like this though, to make it more interesting and kind of support my voice, I like using something called a strum pattern. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down. But we'll talk about another one momentarily. But if we take the A minor and just try that a lot, you'd have down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. And with the feel of the tune, what you may want to do is kind of half that though through a lot of the chords and save the whole pattern for the E. So you could do kind of the down, down, up on the A minor, down, down, up on the D, G with the down, down, up, C with the down, down, up, F with the down, down, up, D minor with the down, down, up, E with the down, down, up, down, up. So we try that through our intro. We'd have A minor, down, down, up, D down, down, up, G down, down, up, C down, down, up, F down, down, D minor down, down, E down, 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 up. Or you may want to just kind of half that E and do a down, down, up, and kind of throw in the lick. So that would be another possibility too. And then from there, then we go into our verse part, and our verse actually kind of repeats that section. We got A minor, D, G, C, F, D minor, E major, down, down, up, down, up. But then we kind of start that over again, but when we get to the E, we kind of half the E, and then do our whole strum pattern on a G. So we have A minor, down, up, D, down, down, up, G, down, down, up, C, down, down, up, F, down, down, D minor, down, down, up, You may want to think about using this cool little lick that kind of turns up there where you play 3rd fret on the low E string 4 times, and then 1st fret, and then open E, and then open D. So on the G, you'll kind of hear that bass line. G, 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 F, E, D. It's kind of a walk into our chorus part. And on our chorus, we start on the C major, but then we go to a G major, and then we go to an F major, and then there's this cool lick that turns up there where you can play 1st fret on the B, open B, 2nd on the G, open G, 3rd fret on the D, 2nd fret on the D, open D, 3rd fret on the low E, or on the A string. It's kind of like a little scale run. And then we go to a G chord, and then we go to an F chord, and then we go back to C, and then there's this cool little bass line that kind of turns up where we play 3rd on the low E string twice, and then we go open A, and then 3rd fret on the A 3 times, and then open A, and then back to 3rd fret on the low E. So you're going G, G, A, C, 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 A, G. It's kind of like a little bass push on the C chord. So you could do it with just the down, down, up, and you have C with the down, down, up, G, down, down, up, F, down, down, up, down, G, down, up, F, down, down, C, down, up, down, C, down, up, G, down, F, down, up, down, G, down, up, F, down, C, down, up, and then we end up with kind of a push to a D minor chord and then an E major chord. You may just want to do downs on those at the end. So that's C with a down, down, D minor, down, E, down. Or you could kind of do that same idea but throw in the licks. And one way to kind of do that is like on the F chord, you can do the down, down, up, and then kind of throw in the lick. So you'd have C with a down, down, up, G, down, up, F, down, up, and then G, down, up, F, down, up, C, down, lick, C, down, up, G, down, up, F, down, up, lick, G, down, up, F, up, C, down, up. And on that D minor E push, you actually kind of hear this little lick too, where you can do open D as kind of a hammer on to the 3rd fret, 2nd fret on the G, but then we go 2nd on the D string, 1st fret on the B or on the G, open B. So you may want to kind of think about using the lick there too, that C, down, up, D minor, E major lick, and then from there, then we'd be going into our verse part. Now another strum pattern that I would think about using though is kind of a 16th note strum pattern. And what I mean by that is if you're tapping your foot to the beat, right now we're kind of dividing that beat into 2 parts with our down, down, up, down, up. 1, 2, 1, 2, and that's called an 8th note. What a 16th note is where we divide that into 4 parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one of my favorite 16th note strum patterns is long down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up. And what I mean by that is if you take the A minor and do it down for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what you're doing on the first beat. Then on the second beat, you're doing a down on 1, down on 3, up on 4. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. And then on the third beat, you're doing an up on 2, down on 3. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, up, down, 1, up, down, 1, up, down. And on the last beat, you're going down, up, right along with the 1, 2, 3, 4. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So all together, you got down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. Now a lot of the chords are still kind of halving those, so you may want to do just kind of a down, 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 up. So a lot of the chords are kind of half the strum pattern that way until we get to that E major, and then when we get to the E, we can use our whole strum pattern on that first E for our verse. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Now the weird part about the second half of the verse though is when we hit that E, you've only got enough time for a down, 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 up. Or what sounds a little bit more like the recording is kind of a down, up, and then hit the G with the whole strum pattern at the very, very end. So if we try our 16th note through our next verse, we'd have A minor, down, down, B, down, 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 G, down, 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 C, down, 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 F, down, 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 D minor, down, our 16th, we'd have kind of a lot of our halving parts actually, where we can do just a down, 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 up on each chord. So we'd have C, down, down, G, down, 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 F, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up, G, down, down, up, F, down, down, up, C, down, down, up, down, 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 up, C, down, down, up, G, down, down, up, F. That D minor E push is kind of down, down, up on each chord, or you could even kind of throw in the licks. So you have C, down, down, up, D minor, E major, or you could have C, down, down, up, D minor lick, E major lick, or we could add in those other licks from the from the chorus. So you could have C with a down, 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 G down, 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 F down, 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 up, lick, G down, down, up, F, down, down, up, C, down, down, up, lick, C, G, F, lick, G, down, down, up, F, down, down, up, C, down, down, up, lick. And then from there, then we go into our next verse, which kind of starts with an instrumental section. Now, something else that you may want to think about adding to the song, though, is bass notes. And a lot of times on that first down, of the down, down, up, down, up, or the down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, you can throw in a bass note for the chord. So on the A minor, you'd have the A string for your bass. On the D, you'd have the D string for your bass. On the G, you'd have the low E string for your bass. On the C, you'd have the A string for your bass. And on the F, if you're doing the F bar, you'd have the low E string for your bass. On the D minor, you'd have, or the F major 7, you'd have the D string for your bass. On the D minor, we'd have the D string for the bass. And on the E major, you'd have the low E string for the bass. So we could kind of work it as kind of a bass down, up through our next verse. So you'd have A minor with the bass, down, up, D with the D bass, down, up, G with the low E bass, down, up, C with an A bass, down, up, F with the bass, down, up, D minor with the D bass, down, up, E with low E bass, down, down, A minor with an A bass, down, up, D with a D bass, down, up, G with a low E bass, down, up, C with an A bass, down, F with a bass, down, D minor with a D bass, down, E with a low E bass, down, up, G with low E bass, down, up, down, up. Or we could try that with our 16th pattern and add basses to that. So you got bass down, down, B with a D bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, C with an A bass, down, down, F with the bass, down, down, D minor with a D bass, down, down, U with low E bass, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, A minor with an A bass, down, down, D with a D bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, C with an A bass, down, down, F with the bass, down, down, D minor with a D bass, down, down, U with a bass, up, G with the bass, down, down, up, down, down, down. And then from there, then we can go into our chorus parts. If we tried our chorus with a bass down, up, down, up, we'd have C with an A bass, down, G with low E bass, down, F with the bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, F with the bass, down, C with an A bass, down, down, C with an A bass, down, G with low E bass, down, F with the bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, F with the bass, down, C with an A bass, down, D minor, E. Or if we tried that with a bass 16th pattern, we'd have C with the bass, down, down, G with the bass, down, down, F with the bass, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, G with low E bass, down, down, F with the bass, down, C with an A bass, down, down, up, down, down, C with an A bass, down, G with low E bass, down, F with the bass, down, up, G with low E bass, down, F with the bass, down, C with an A bass, down, up, and maybe we do kind of the D minor with the bass down, up, E with the bass down, up, it's kind of that push at the end if you want to kind of add basses in. Or we could try that with the licks, and we could do kind of that with the bass down, up, down, up. You can have C, down, up, G with low E bass, down, up, F with the bass, down, up, G bass, down, up, F with the bass, down, up, C with an A bass, down, up, C with the bass, down, up, G with low E bass, down, up, F with the bass, down, up, lick, G with the bass, down, F with the bass, down, up, C with an A bass, down, up, lick. Or we could try that with our 16th pattern and have C with the bass, down, G with low E bass, down, F with the bass, down, up, around with that too. Now randomly on that last G, sometimes there's a rest there. And so if you want to be exactly like the recording on that part, right after that F lick, you'd wait and then do the G with a down and then your F with a down, down, down to the bass, down, down, up. So you may want to kind of play around with that on the G chord. There's kind of that weird little rest. That's the basics of how you can strum through Wild World by Cat Stevens. So good luck.